In Australia, I lived in an on-campus house with 9 other Deakin students. Each night, I'd cook dinner in the crowded kitchen, often learning about authentic Malaysian or Chinese meals, and even discussing the differences in American and Australian bacon, which is really just ham. We'd gather on the blue and gray couches that line the living area and watch Channel 7 News and our evening reality show, Big Brother, that we all secretly loved. We laughed, even argued, and learned from one another. One evening, my roommate Claire told me about how she'd grown up on a farm in a small town in New South Wales called Finley. She offered to take me to visit anytime. One weekend, I decided to take her up on it. On our 5-hour car ride, we discussed everything from politics to religion to pop culture, and I learned that Claire and I shared a passion for travel, and she hoped to go on exchange to America one day. As we got closer, the road shifted from paved to gravel to dirt, and finally we pulled up to an old, homey-looking white house with a wooden garage and a white ute parked in the lawn. She introduced me to her mom, dad, and 3 younger siblings, Alistair, Duncan, and Lauren, and they welcomed me into their home, eager to show me what it's like to live on a farm. I grew up in Atlanta, a city filled with paved roads, traffic, high-rises, and busy people. Life on the farm was much different than I imagined it to be. We spent the weekend building bonfires, playing with their dog Jacques, and feeding horses and cows. Claire's dad even took me out on his motorcycle to try and find some kangaroos. That Saturday, Alistair was playing in a footy match, and Lauren was playing in a netball game, so we spent the day at the courts and the fields cheering them on. I'd grown up playing in dozens of sports leagues, and was excited to learn about the games that Claire and her siblings had played for years. With every pass, kick, or goal, Claire had a new rule to teach me. During halftime, Claire and Duncan quickly taught me how to properly kick the football, which was actually quite an art form. I had always imagined the small town life to be boring and predictable. I loved living in exciting cities like Atlanta, DC, and Melbourne, but Claire and her family showed me the simple pleasure in living with less. While I'd grown up playing in the streets, always keeping an ear out for a mom or dad's voice yelling, "Car!" Claire had grown up ATVing on the dirt fields and wakeboarding down the rivers of the farm. It's not that one is better than the other, but my time in her small town gave me a sense of peace I'd never known I'd enjoy. I learned that Claire and I came from very different upbringings, but with an open mind, there was so much we could learn from one another. During my time in Australia, I became friends with people from all over the world, and each person had a story I could learn from.